I'm a big YouTuber.
I literally cover court cases for a living.
I'm gonna give you my ID.
I cover the court cases for a living.
Yeah, what up, y'all? Welcome to Crown TV. I am the Crown Prince, aka Mr. Anti-Goofy. You know what not to do in my comments. Shout out to the Anti-Goofy gang. We on our way to 20,000. We in the building. If you want to donate to the channel and you really gang, instead of the super chat, hit up the Cash App gang. Yeah, what up, y'all? It's been a few days. I hope everybody missed me. I hope everybody in good health. I got a couple things I want to get off before I get started with the topic. The first thing is thank y'all. I can't thank y'all enough for pushing me over 10,000. We on the way to 20,000. You already know what it is. The second thing is obviously the elephant in the room as far as the hip-hop world is concerned, and that is Tekashi 6ix9ine telling on everything and everybody. I'm not going to go too deep into that right now. I got a dozen videos going into great detail about how and why Tekashi was about to snitch on everything and everybody. And thankfully for y'all, those videos are being viewed, so I'm not going to talk just to be talking. The third thing is there is a lot of new information has become available in this case. So I'm going to bring that to y'all. There is a lot of important information in those documents that I want to go through. The fourth thing is that we have 4 other cases that we are going to add to this queue, and I got a lot of paperwork and a lot of updates on those cases. Today I want to talk about the case of Fu Banga. And before I do that, because this is going to be a tough video, I want to give an opinion if that's all right. I think that Fu Banga was left out to dry by a lot of people, not only in leaving him sitting up for 7+ months on a $4,000 bond, but also hanging him out to dry with what I believe is the most incompetent lawyer on this case. Remember, this is an opinion. I don't think that Fu Banga talked to his lawyer very much, and when he did, I don't believe he was made to understand what was actually happening. Now, with that being said, we going all the way back to the beginning. This is Fu Banga's original police report from when he first got picked up. If you look in the top right-hand corner, you can see it is a state case at this point. This is before the feds touched it. And if you look at the charges, you can see they are state charges, and those charges are as follows. Reckless endangerment in the first, that is for the shooting at the Barclays. Aggravated unlicensed operation of a motor vehicle in the third, that is for Fu Banga at the time driving around with a suspended license. And then there is criminal possession of a weapon in the second, that is for the gun that they found in Fu Banga's boot when he was pulled over at this traffic stop. Now, this police report alleges that the defendant did recklessly engage in conduct which created a substantial risk of serious physical injury to another person, under circumstances evincing a depraved indifference to human life. Recklessly engage in conduct which created a grave risk of death to another person, that is the Barclays. Operate a vehicle upon a public highway while knowing or having reason to know that such person's driver's license or privilege of operating such motor vehicle in this state or privilege of obtaining a license to operate such motor vehicle issued by the commissioner was suspended, revoked, or otherwise withdrawn by the commissioner. With intent to use unlawfully against another, possess a loaded firearm. Possess any loaded firearm, and that such possession did not take place in the defendant's home or place of business. It says the source of deponent's information and the grounds for deponent's belief are as follows. Deponent states that at the first above time and place, deponent responded to the above location in response to a call regarding shots fired. The deponent further states that the deponent observed video surveillance from the above first location dated 4/21/18 and bearing the timestamp of 21/18 depicting the defendant removing a firearm from the defendant's left shoe and firing one round at a crowd in the hallway. Deponent is further informed by Latoya Gustis that at the first above time and place, informant observed a .380 caliber shell casing in the hallway of the first above location and recovered it. Deponent is further informed by police officer at the 79th precinct that in the above time and place, the informant observed the defendant operating a 2017 black GMC on a public highway. Now, all of this goes into the unlicensed operation. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. But two things are important to note at the time of his arrest. One is that he was identified on camera already at the time of his arrest. The second is that they had a .380 shell casing from the Barclays, and I'm going to show y'all later that they had that tested. And that .380 shell casing obviously came from the same .380 that was found in his boot at the time of his arrest. But it doesn't stop there, because Fu Banga also sat down with the police and made what is called a custodial statement in interrogation after being warned about his Miranda rights several times. Here is an excerpt from that interrogation. Detective 1, reading from the form. You have the right to consult an attorney before speaking to the police and to have an attorney present during any questioning now or in the future. Do you understand? Fu Banga asks, may I call my lawyer? The detective pauses. He says, excuse me. Fu Banga replies, may I call my lawyer now? May I call my lawyer here? The detective pauses. There is no response. Fu Banga says, I need to contact him. The detective says, do you want to talk to your lawyer or talk to us? Fu Banga says, you know, I'm saying I prefer to talk to my lawyer if y'all give me my phone so I can get his phone number out of there, but I don't have a problem talking to you. The detective says, okay, so let me get to this. Reading from the form. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided to you without cost. Do you understand? Fu Banga says yes. The detective says, reading from the form, if you do not have an attorney available, you have the right to remain silent until you have the opportunity to consult with one. Now that I have advised you of your rights, are you willing to answer questions? Fu Banga says, and what do I have to do to speak to my lawyer? Would you give me my phone so I could call him or what? The detective says, yeah, we'll give you your phone to call your lawyer if you want. Fu Banga is inaudible and appears to be looking at the form that the officer is reading from. The detective says, that's what he just read, look, whatever you want. Fu Banga asks again, so you can get my phone now. The detective says again, do you want to talk to a lawyer or talk to us? He then emphasizes, you know what I mean. Fu Banga says, well, what am I talking about? The detective says, we're going to ask you some questions. Again, he says, you know what I mean. Another detective asks, are you willing to talk to us? Fu Banga says, yes. He then goes on to make a statement, and I'm going to get to that in a second. It says, subsequently, by Kings County Criminal Court complaint dated May 7, 2018, Mr. Lovick was charged with committing on May 6, 2018, the offenses of aggravated unlicensed operation of a motor vehicle in the third and criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree. In addition, the complaint also charged him with reckless endangerment in the first and second degrees relating to the Barclays incident on April 21, 2018. Subsequently, he was charged in the above captioned indictment in counts 6 and 7 for conduct relating to the Barclays incident. I'm going to also get to that in a second. Now, the reason that we know that Fu Banga went on to make a custodial statement is because the document that you are looking at is actually a motion to suppress this post-arrest custodial statement. If you don't know what a custodial statement is, this is when you sit down with police and claim whatever it is that they found. So against all common sense, Fu Banga sat down with police and made this custodial statement claiming the gun that ultimately was matched to the .380 shell casing at the scene at the Barclays. Now, whether or not this statement would have been suppressed eventually is a matter of opinion because it never got to that point. Now, to keep these videos in between a nice time frame, we are going to do this in parts. In part 2, we are going to discuss how, when, and why this case went federal, and we are going to discuss Fu Banga's misconceptions that he put out into the media and his obliviousness as to what was going on in his own case, not from my mouth, but directly from the paperwork. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this so far. Like, comment, subscribe if you are not a goofy. If you are a goofy, you know the rules. It's the Crown Prince. I'm out, y'all.